What if the first warning sign of brain decline wasn't memory loss, confusion, or forgetting names, but something as simple as not being able to smell your morning coffee? It sounds almost unbelievable. Yet researchers have discovered that changes in your sense of smell often appear years before any visible memory problems. In fact, it could be the most important clue your brain gives you before symptoms even begin. As a doctor, I've seen many patients overlook this subtle signal, thinking it's just allergies or aging. But what we now know from cutting-edge neuroscience is that the olfactory system, the part of the brain that processes smells, is one of the very first areas affected by Alzheimer's and age-related brain decline. That means your nose might actually be telling you what your memory can't yet say. And here's the best part. You can test it yourself, right at home. Today, we'll go through a simple 5-cent test that can help you gauge how well your brain's memory centers are functioning, long before any doctor's scan could detect changes. You'll also learn how to retrain your sense of smell to keep your neurons sharp and active, a method now being used by longevity clinics in the US to delay cognitive aging. So before you assume your forgetfulness is just normal aging, stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to check the health of your brain with one of your oldest senses, but also how to strengthen it using something as pleasant as scent. Let's start by uncovering the surprising link between your sense of smell and the part of your brain responsible for memories, emotions, and even decision-making. Number 1. Smell and memory. Every scent you breathe in tells your brain a story. The molecules from that aroma travel straight through your nose to the olfactory bulb, a small structure that sits right beside the hippocampus, the part of your brain that stores and retrieves memories. That's why one whiff of baked bread can suddenly bring back a childhood kitchen, or why a familiar perfume can stir emotions you haven't felt in years. The same neural shortcut that connects smell and memory also makes the loss of smell one of the earliest clues that something is changing inside the brain. Studies have revealed that this connection fades long before memory lapses appear. In a large study published in the Journal of Neurology in 2023, older adults who couldn't identify common scents such as coffee, lemon, or mint were twice as likely to experience cognitive decline within 5 years. The reason is clear: the olfactory bulb and hippocampus are neighbors, and when toxic proteins like amyloid beta begin to form in the early stages of Alzheimer's, these regions are among the first to lose communication. The result is that your brain receives fewer sensory signals, making familiar smells seem dull or unfamiliar. But here's something most people don't realize: smell loss doesn't just affect your nose, it changes how your brain stays active. When the brain stops processing scents, it misses out on daily stimulation that strengthens memory pathways. In other words, recognizing a scent is more than sensory. It's exercise for your neurons. Many older adults dismiss a fading sense of smell as normal aging or allergies, but it's one of the most overlooked health indicators. A dull nose often means your brain's wiring is slowing down. Fortunately, there's an easy way to check how well this system is working: a simple 5-cent test that you can try at home using things you already have in your kitchen. It's quick, revealing, and might surprise you. Let's go through it step by step. Number 2. The simple 5-cent test. This test isn't just an experiment. It's a direct window into how active your brain's memory circuits still are. You can do it safely at home. And all you need are 5 scents that nearly everyone recognizes: coffee, lemon, mint, rose, and soap. Each one stimulates a different part of the olfactory map in your brain, giving a surprisingly accurate picture of how your neurons are firing. Start by preparing your scents. For coffee, place a spoonful of fresh grounds in a small cup. Cut a thin slice of lemon peel, and for mint, crush a leaf or use a dab of toothpaste. For roses, grab a flower, a few drops of rose water, or even hand cream with a floral scent. Ordinary hand soap works for the 5th. Place each scent in a separate small container or cup so they don't mix. Next, choose a quiet room without strong smells. Sit comfortably, Close your eyes and relax your breathing for a few seconds. Hold one container about 4 inches from your nose. Breathe in gently through one nostril while keeping the other closed. Try to identify the scent without guessing too quickly. Give yourself up to 10 seconds to find the name that comes naturally, not just pleasant or strong, but the actual item. Then rest for 15 seconds before moving to the next scent. Repeat for the other nostril as well, since one side of the nasal passage can be more sensitive than the other. If you're unsure about doing the test alone, this is actually a wonderful activity to share with family. Ask your children or grandchildren to help prepare the scents and record your answers. Their involvement makes the process more accurate. They can cover the labels on each container, mix up the order, and read your responses without giving hints. It turns a simple test into a small bonding moment that's both fun and meaningful. You might be surprised by how curious younger family members get when they see you doing it. They often try the same test out of curiosity, and that shared laughter and conversation stimulate your brain even further. Social interaction itself boosts memory and emotional centers in the brain, so you're getting a double benefit of sensory training and connection. Once you've gone through all 5, write down your results. Did you smell them clearly? Could you tell them apart? Did any seem muted or strange? Most healthy adults can identify at least 4 out of 5 scents. If 2 or more seem faint or unrecognizable, and you're not congested or recovering from a cold, that might be worth mentioning at your next checkup. Doctors often use similar scratch and sniff cards in neurological screenings because scent recognition relies directly on the same brain areas that process memory and orientation. If your results seem inconsistent, for example, if you can smell lemon one day but not the next, try again the following morning before eating or brushing your teeth. Smell sensitivity changes slightly throughout the day. It's strongest early in the morning when your senses are refreshed. For accuracy, keep the same 5 scents and repeat the test once a month to track patterns over time. Think of this as your own home-based early warning system. Unlike blood pressure or cholesterol, this simple test reveals how alert your brain truly is at a sensory level. And what makes it even more fascinating is that this same sense, the first to fade, can also be retrained to grow stronger. Let's uncover why the brain loses its sense of smell first and how you can keep those vital pathways alive. Number 3, why the brain loses its sense of smell first. One of the most surprising discoveries in neuroscience is that the sense of smell often declines years before memory problems begin. To understand why, imagine your brain as a city. The olfactory bulb, the part that interprets smell, is located right at the entrance, close to the hippocampus and frontal cortex, which handle memory, planning, and decision-making. Because it sits so near these critical areas, it becomes one of the first regions to show early signs of decline when harmful changes start. Inside a healthy brain, millions of smell receptors send signals to the olfactory bulb each time you inhale. Those signals then travel to the hippocampus, helping the brain connect smells to emotions and memories. But in the earliest stages of cognitive decline, abnormal proteins like amyloid beta and tau begin to collect around these regions. These toxic buildups slow down electrical communication between neurons, so the scent message either arrives distorted or doesn't arrive at all. That's why people often say, "I can smell it, but I can't quite place it." The signal gets through, but the memory link it once triggered is fading. Researchers at Columbia University found that people who showed decreased smell sensitivity had amyloid buildup in the brain up to 5 years before memory tests showed any problem. This makes loss of smell one of the earliest red flags for Alzheimer's, even before brain scans show changes. It's as if the brain's warning light comes on in the form of a dulled sense of scent. Yet this isn't only about disease. Everyday habits can also accelerate smell loss. Smoking, untreated sinus infections, and exposure to air pollution all damage the delicate nerve endings that carry smell signals. Even prolonged stress can interfere by tightening blood vessels that feed the olfactory bulb, reducing oxygen and nutrient flow. Over time, the brain becomes less responsive to the sense that once activated it. Here's something many people don't realize, unlike vision or hearing. The smell centers of the brain can actually regenerate new neurons throughout life. That means if we stimulate them early and often, we can encourage repair and preserve those pathways that connect scent and memory. That's why, if one day you wake up and realize that the smell of your morning coffee seems weaker than usual, or you can no longer catch the scent of your favorite shampoo, don't just brush it off. Instead, pause and pay attention. This isn't necessarily a sign of something serious, but it is your brain asking for care. Treat it the same way you would a small ache that warns of a muscle that needs stretching. Make time to notice smells throughout your day, from the scent of fruit when you peel it to the aroma of herbs while cooking. Each time you do, you're sending a gentle pulse of activity to the parts of your brain responsible for memory and emotion, reminding them to stay alive and connected. If those scents still feel dull or absent after several days, mention it to your doctor. Simple smell identification tests are now part of early cognitive screenings, and catching small changes early can make a remarkable difference in protecting brain health. Think of your sense of smell as your brain's built-in alarm, quiet, subtle, but incredibly wise. Listening to it now can help preserve memory and clarity for years to come. And the best part, you can train that sense back to life. Neuroscientists have developed an easy habit called active smelling, a short daily routine that keeps your olfactory system alert and your neurons communicating smoothly. Let's explore how to do it. Number 4, active smelling. The idea of active smelling might sound unusual, but it's one of the most powerful brain training methods you can practice without any equipment or cost. The principle is simple. When you intentionally smell and identify scents, you're stimulating not just your nose, but multiple brain regions at once: the olfactory bulb, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. These are the same areas that handle memory, emotion, and reasoning. Beyond keeping your memory strong, active smelling offers a range of powerful health benefits that reach far beyond the nose. When you engage your sense of smell intentionally, you're also improving blood flow to the brain. Each deep, mindful breath through the nose increases oxygen delivery to areas that control attention, emotion, and problem-solving. Over time, this helps maintain sharper thinking, steadier mood, and even better sleep quality. There's another fascinating effect. Smell training helps regulate stress hormones. The act of focusing on pleasant scents lowers levels of cortisol, the hormone that rises during tension and anxiety. In one clinical trial from the European Journal of Neuroscience, older adults who performed daily scent identification exercises for 8 weeks reported not only clearer thinking, but also fewer feelings of fatigue and irritability. Their brain scans showed higher activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, a region linked to emotional balance and motivation. Here's how to begin. Choose 3 to 4 natural scents you enjoy, like fresh coffee grounds, a slice of orange, cinnamon, vanilla, or mint leaves. Hold one item close to your nose and take a slow, steady breath in. Focus fully on the scent. Then say its name out loud or describe it silently in your mind. For example, this cinnamon is warm, spicy, and familiar. Doing so activates your language centers, forcing the brain to connect smell with memory and words. Repeat this for about 10 minutes a day, ideally in the morning when your senses are most alert. Studies published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience have shown that older adults who practiced active smelling for 10 minutes daily over 6 months improved both short-term memory and spatial orientation. Scientists believe that naming scents stimulates the formation of new neural pathways, keeping the brain flexible and resilient, much like physical exercise for the body. To make this habit more enjoyable, change your scents every few weeks. One week you might focus on citrus fruits, the next on herbs or flowers. Keep the experience playful. Close your eyes. Guess the scent before naming it, or have a family member switch them up for you. The goal isn't perfection. It's to keep the brain curious and engaged. To get the best results from active smelling, consistency and timing matter just as much as the scents you choose. The olfactory system is most responsive in the morning, when the brain is rested and the nasal passages are clear, so that's the ideal time to practice. A short, calm session after you wake up before coffee or breakfast can set a positive rhythm for the day, stimulating alertness and circulation to the brain. If you ever feel too tired for reading or puzzles, think of this as your quiet workout for the brain. Just a few minutes of mindful smelling can calm the nervous system, sharpen focus, and rekindle the small joys of everyday life, like truly savoring your morning coffee or the scent of rain through an open window. Now that you know how to train your brain through scent, let's explore which specific natural aromas can do more than awaken memories. They can actually help heal and energize the mind itself. Number 5. Healing through scent. Your sense of smell isn't just a way to detect what's pleasant or not. It's a tool you can tailor to how you want to feel. Different scents activate different brain regions, and knowing how to use them gives you control over your mental state in a gentle, natural way. Think of it as matching a scent prescription to your daily mood or need. If you often wake up sluggish or find your mind slow to start, citrus scents such as orange, lemon, or grapefruit are your best allies. Their molecules, particularly limonene, stimulate the prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center for focus and motivation. Just a few deep inhales in the morning can lift alertness and encourage steady blood flow to the brain, making it easier to start the day clear-headed and energized. If your afternoons bring fatigue or mental fog, reach for peppermint or rosemary. These sharper scents increase oxygen uptake and activate neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, improving reaction time and concentration. Research shows that peppermint can heighten alertness in under 2 minutes, ideal before a walk, a drive, or even reading. For those evenings when stress lingers or sleep feels elusive, lavender and chamomile come to the rescue. Their natural compounds, like linalool, lower heart rate and signal the nervous system to enter a state of rest. Breathing these scents before bed slows brainwave activity, helping you drift into deeper, more restorative sleep. If you struggle with anxiety or find your thoughts racing, try sandalwood or frankincense. These grounding aromas stimulate the limbic system, the emotional core of the brain, encouraging calm focus and emotional stability. Many older adults use them during meditation or prayer, as they help anchor attention and create a sense of peace. And if your goal is to spark joy or boost motivation, vanilla or cinnamon can do wonders. Their warm, familiar notes trigger the brain's dopamine centers, evoking comfort and positivity. These scents are particularly helpful on cold days or during times of low mood. You don't need elaborate diffusers or expensive oils to enjoy these effects. A few drops on a tissue, a slice of citrus fruit, or a sprig of herbs in your kitchen is enough. The secret is mindfulness, pausing to truly notice what you smell and how it changes your mood. Even a single minute of mindful smelling trains your brain to stay flexible and emotionally balanced. So, the next time you feel unfocused, restless, or simply want to lift your spirits, remember the remedy might already be in your kitchen or garden. One deep, attentive breath could be the smallest, most enjoyable step you take toward keeping your brain young. When we put everything together, it's astonishing how such a simple sense smell can tell us so much about the brain's health. Losing sensitivity to scent, especially familiar ones like coffee or lemon, is not just about aging. It's one of the earliest signs that the brain's communication system may be slowing down. But the beauty is, through consistent smell training, we can often restore what feels lost. To recap, testing your sense of smell at home helps you monitor early brain changes long before memory loss appears. Practicing active smelling daily keeps the olfactory nerves engaged, improving focus and recall. Choosing scents intentionally: citrus for alertness, lavender for calm, peppermint for clarity, gives your brain a balanced workout. Making smell a habit at specific times, morning and evening, stabilizes mood, memory, and even sleep. The takeaway is simple. Caring for your sense of smell is caring for your brain. It's a daily exercise that costs nothing, takes minutes, yet protects the most precious organ we have. So tonight, when you make tea or peel an orange, take a deep breath and really notice that aroma. That tiny act of attention might be what keeps your mind clear, your memories alive, and your independence intact for years to come. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because next time, we'll reveal another science-backed daily habit that keeps your brain young long after 60.